Hi, welcome back to my class series on scientific foundations of health. I am discussing on the topic, explaining on the topic, good health and its balance for positive mindset, part two. Part one of this already covered and it is shared into my YouTube channel, My Intuition. Please go through that and the multiple choice questions will be shared under the description box. You can see that in the description box. Now here continuation of previous class, I'm explaining about the fourth point, health and behavior, health beliefs, and advertisements, advantages of good health, that to short-term, long-term benefits. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, My Intuition. All the classes are available in this YouTube channel. Health and behavior, or the health behavior, it is the action of individual or group or even organizations. The determinants or the correlates or the consequences of these actions are also included in health behavior, which include social change, policy development, and implementation, improved coping skills, and enhanced quality of life. The categories of health behavior, it is of three types of preventive health behavior, illness behavior, and sick role behavior. The preventive health behavior, it involves any activity undertaken by a healthy individual for the purpose of preventing illness. It can be treated as a self protection behavior, self protective behavior, which is an action taken for self-protection. Say example, wearing helmet when riding a bicycle, using the seat belts when you are riding a vehicle car, or when you are sitting in the seat where a seat belt is there, or wearing a condom during the sexual activities. These are considered as a self-protective behavior. These self-protective behavior are also known as cautious behavior. The second one, that is illness behavior. Illness behavior is the activity undertaken by an individual who is not feeling well, and he is discovering a suitable remedy for his illness. That means he's got a illness and he's taking action to get cured. Third point, that is sick role behavior. Sick role behavior involves the activity undertaken by those who consider themselves to be ill, but they are not ill, which include receiving treatment from medical providers or medical shops, escaping from their usual responsibility, and they become dependent on others. That we can treat as a sick role behavior. Now, health behavior and health lifestyle. Health behavior and health lifestyle, they are not the same. Health behavior can be something which is done once, or something that is done periodically, like the immunization. It can also be sometimes something that one does not does only to oneself, such as putting sunscreen, or behavior which affect others, like putting up a shade cover so that children at playground are protected from the sun. These are health behavior. The health behavior or action which are performed over a long period of time, such as eating a healthful diet, getting regular physical activity, avoiding tobacco products, which are can be called as lifestyle behaviors. A combination of various healthful behavior is always treated as a healthy lifestyle. The person who practices a variety of behavior in a health enhancing manner can be considered as living as a healthy lifestyle. Now, health related behavior and health directed behavior. Health related behavior, it is an action which is related to the disease prevention or health maintenance, health improvement, or restoration of health. This type of behavior can be either voluntary or involuntary. It can be a habit, or to obey the rules or regulations put up by the government. For example, a child who runs a 1,000 meter in a physical education class, is actually performing a health related behavior only because you need to score the passing grade, the passing mark for that particular physical education class. But an adult who do regular exercise for the purpose of restoring or maintaining or improving his or health, it can be treated as a health directed behavior. Sometimes both this, that health related behavior and health directed behavior, can coexist. If I take an example, a child who participating in health related behavior when he uses the seat belt, but the parent, from parent side, this is a health directed behavior. Now let me explain some of the different health behaviors, which include self-care behavior, uh, then healthcare behavior, healthcare utilization behavior, dietary behavior, substance use behavior, sexual behavior, and reckless behavior. The first one, that is self-care behavior. Self-care behavior, which involves one's active participation in the healthcare process. Self-care behavior is a type of a primary prevention action of a disease, even if in the absence of any symptoms, before seeking a doctor or professional medical attention. Self-care behavior can be treated only as a preventive action, which includes eating soup or drinking hot water, taking over the counter medications for cold symptoms, or treating the minor injuries which has happened before going to hospital, changing a bandage or a wound dressing, even doing a rehabilitation exercises, avoiding junk foods which can cause allergic reactions, then use of alternative or even complementary medical treatments without medical supervision. These are comes under self-care behavior. Now, second point, that is healthcare utilization behavior. Healthcare utilization behavior is a continuity of the preventive measures, such as getting immunization or early detection and screening test. Participating in such activities or such behavior, we call it as healthcare behavior. Third one, that is dietary behavior. Dietary behavior refers to the eating patterns, as well as the behavior related to consuming food, such as the parceling of food or eating out. Dietary behavior, it differs from some other types of health behavior in that it is basic form, it is essential for life. Some of the dietary behaviors, such as drinking alcoholic beverages or smoking cigarette, they are not necessary to sustain life. The dietary behavior influences the development of many chronic diseases, including chronic heart diseases, or some cancers like breast cancer, colon cancer, stomach cancer, or cancers of the head or neck, and even type 2 diabetes can also be controlled by this type of dietary behavior, good dietary behavior. The healthful dietary behavior include limiting the consumption of high fat food, having high intake of fruits and vegetables, increasing the fiber content in food, controlling the caloric intake to prevent the obesity. Next one, that is substance use behavior. Substance use behavior, it focuses on the use of both licit as well as illicit mood altering substances, which this category in substances commonly called as drugs, which includes tobacco, alcohol, caffeine, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, or even designer drugs, or even the prescription medicines, which is taken improperly, also comes under substance use behavior. Substance abuse, which occurs when the substance use behavior is at the extremity, when it crosses the extreme level, and unsafe. They are very unsafe and leads to addiction, which makes it difficult to stop using the substance. Sexual behavior. Sexual behavior may or may not involve the sexual intercourse. This behavior have health effects which range from reproduction and childbearing to sexually transmitted diseases. The most serious of one we already know, that is HIV or AIDS. Taking precautions or avoiding sexual contact with multiple partners can help one to prevent sexually transmitted diseases. We call it as STD, sexually transmitted diseases, and prevent the even unwanted pregnancy. Attention towards this area of health behavior has increased in the last 2 decades, especially due to this AIDS epidemic. Last one, that is a reckless behavior. Reckless behavior involves any individuals putting themselves in a situation which is not normally required in their daily living, and in turn it increases the chances of illness or injury or even death. You can call it as also as a risk-taking behavior or a risky behavior. Example: drinking and driving, then the drag racing, the substance use, carrying a weapon, then engaging in unprotected sex, and playing extreme sports are comes under the risky behavior. Now, next topic, that is health behavior models. Health behavior models, there are three main health behavior models. They are the theoretical models which is used to address the health related factors within an individual, which covers the thought, feeling, as well as belief. It also covers the factors in groups or relationships, factors which exist in organization, communities, and government. The first one, that is the stages of change or trans theoretical model, which explains an individual's readiness to change or to try to change unhealthful behaviors. The second one, that is social cognitive theory, SCT, which is very complex. In this theory, from this theory's perspective, people and their environments are interacting continuously. People learn not only through their experience, but also by watching the way other people act and the result that they achieve. This one provides, SCT provides a foundation for several strategies of for behavior change. Example: the use of role models, uh, role models who carry out the behavior and achieving good results. Community organization model explains several ways of bringing about change, including developing resources and skills, getting specialized help from outside experts, and social actions. Example like the AIDS activists, women's health activists, and many other NGOs. Now, the fourth one, that is very important health behavior model, that is health belief model. Health belief model, I'm explaining a little bit in detail. The uh, health belief model was originally developed to explain why people did or did not take advantages of the preventive services such as disease screening and immunization. Health belief model works well, especially for the early detection of infectious diseases. Now, health belief and how it is connected to the advertisement, or what is the influence of advertisement on health. Advertisement and other marketing communication extensively discuss about the food and nutrition, tobacco products, alcohols, and drugs. They put the messages and messages are conveyed via mass media advertising, public service announcements, and the label of the products in television shows and social media. Many research it indicates that these health-related communications can have significant and measurable effect on consumers' emotion and behavior. Some messages enhance the health by discouraging unhealthy or risky consumption. Other do the opposite. So advertisement has got both positive and negative impacts on health. Next, last topic, advantages of a good health, short as well as long-term benefit of this particular class video. There are many other explanation topics to be explained in coming classes. Advantages of good health, can say it decrease the risk of disease, more life force energy, increased happiness, less depression, increase the feeling of self-worth, save money. Okay, so these things I want to explain. Decrease the risk of disease. We may fall ill when our body or mind it is stressed, or due to nutrition imbalance, or when we neglect the self-care. Often these occur simultaneously. To bring the body back into a stage of balance, it is essential that we begin to adopt more sustainable behaviors and practices. The good health behavior and practices are by no means difficult. We must remember that life is a practice and not a performance. Second point, that is more life force energy. With a poor quality of food or usage of chemicals, long-term stress, it is not possible for a body to have optimal energy. We have to give our body what it requires and desires, such as nourishment or sunlight, clean water. And we have to have a dramatic shift in our daily energy levels. Third point, that is increased happiness and less depression. One of the advantages of good health. In our stomach, it consists of more than 100 million neurons, and our body itself consists of more than 100 million neurons, and which is responsible for the secretion of the major neurotransmitters, which makes us to feel happy, like serotonin, dopamine, glutamate, nitric oxide, etc. So when we take care of ourselves, these feel-good chemicals will be released more easily and more frequently, which influences our state, the state of our mood. Fourth one, that is increased feeling of self-worth. This is very simple one. As we begin to experience the mood shift, and when we require the changes in our body, we will begin to make self-care as a priority one. Then saving money, leading a healthy lifestyle or a healthy behavior allows us to save more money, because we can avoid the expenses of hospital, loss of pay at work or place, etc. Now, some of the tips to improve our overall health: eat more vegetables, swap in whole grains, be more active, and maintain a good friendships. Consuming more vegetables and fruits will lower the risk of heart diseases, even stroke, cancer, and even premature death. Although eating more vegetable is better, but we have to go from 0 to 9 serving a day, not eating at a stretch more vegetables. It should be given to our body in more time intervals. It should be considered. So consider eating one vegetable or fruit at every meal. Keep in our mind that the less processed vegetables are better, rather than the fried or dry, the roasted potatoes or seasoned one. Uh, those are not cannot be considered as a good vegetable eating habits. Next one, swap in whole grain. We have to replace the refined grains with the whole grain. That will benefit our health. The whole grains include the plain oats, brown and brown and the wild rice, barley. These are all comes under the whole grain category. Be more active. Uh, if we do exercise or workout in whenever we get a free time, or than sitting or than sitting without doing a workout, or when we do some physical exercise whenever we get time, which will make our body feel good. Choosing an activity that you are interested in will increase the your chances of getting sick soon. Maintain friendship. uh, strong relationship and staying in communication with friends and loved ones can support mental health. For one, the risk of depression is greater in people with a low quality relationship, and those with the poorest quality social relationship have more than double the risk of depression compared to people with the highest quality connection. So we have to choose our friendships such a way that they are very active, they are very healthy, they have very good physical as well as mental health, and they are supportive to make us feel happy, to be more healthy. So such good friendship we have to maintain. Then control the stress, the last one point remaining. We have to have ability to control our emotions, our stress, because this chronic stress can put our body into fight or flight mode all the time, which destroys our immune system and causes many health problems, which include the heart disease or diabetes, digestion problems, depression, high blood pressure, anxiety, difficulty in sleeping, or because if we are not able to control our stress. Exercise can help reduce the stress by releasing the required energy. Physical activity can also boost the release of mood lifting hormones, which we call as the endorphins. And we have to have mindful practices like meditation, deep breathing, journaling, or spending time in nature, which will always help us to lower the stress. Then talking to good friends, good relationships can also help us to control our stress. So that's about this particular class video. Please do subscribe my YouTube channel, My Intuition, like the videos, and share to others. So thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice day.